Hi guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my cooking channel. Today we're getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. So we're gonna make some corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrots. And we might make some Irish stew bread. It's super easy to make. I've made it in a Dutch oven before. We'll see how I make it this time. So come join me in my kitchen as I cook. Today's ingredients are the corned beef. I have 3.9 pounds of corned beef brisket. I have this beef broth here. It was on sale, so I got it because I didn't have any beef broth. I have Guinness, my frozen garlic paste. I have some small potatoes. I have half an onion. I have what's left over of the cabbage I've been using, some carrots, Worcestershire sauce, black pepper, and bay leaves. All right, so I've washed my brisket and put it in the Instant Pot, and I'm gonna add the onions. Then I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves. Now we're gonna add the seasoning pack that comes with the corned beef brisket. Then I'm going to add some garlic paste. I bought a whole bunch of garlic and I froze it after I blended it with some olive oil. So I'm gonna add that. It's frozen, but it defrosts. Look, it already started defrosting. It defrosts fairly quickly. And then I'm going to add pepper to taste. So I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of pepper in here. I'm also going to add the Guinness. Then I'm going to add just a little bit more liquid so we can cover the meat just slightly, because we're going to add the potatoes and the carrots and all that afterwards. So maybe 1 to 2 cups depending on how big your brisket is, how big your Instant Pot is, or your pressure cooker. All right, and then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. All right, now we're ready to turn this on. And we're gonna put it to pressure. I'm gonna turn this keep warm thing off. And we're gonna go 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. Okay, for the Irish soda bread, I'm gonna use some buttermilk, flour. I have all-purpose flour here. I have baking soda and salt. We're gonna start off by sifting 2 cups of flour. Two cups of flour, half a teaspoon, let me open this, of baking soda. I'll grab you from there. Half a teaspoon, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna grab half, and then eyeball another half there. And now I'm gonna sift it. You want to make sure there's no lumps or anything, and that's going to help you mix it better. This is a very easy, super easy bread recipe. Okay, and now we're going to stir that up. Guys, sifting kosher salt doesn't always work because the kosher salt is larger than the sifter. This is a cup of buttermilk. So I'm going to add this into our flour mixture, and I'm just going to mix it all up, and that's really all there is to it. You mix it up until it comes to a ball of bread. So you just get it to come together. You don't have to mix it a lot, just make it turn into dough. Make sure you get all that. See, I have all that sticking. So pick up all that flour that you have at the bottom. And then I'm gonna flour my countertop I just cleaned it off. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and dry before I do that. And basically, this is it. Just make sure you get all the dough to come together. And let's take this off my hands. There we go. So I've decided to put it on the parchment paper that I'm gonna use to bake it in. That way I save my table. Oh, and there's my oven. My oven is preheated to 450 degrees. So I'm gonna lightly dust this. I should have done it before I put the dough down, but it's okay. And I'm going to just make sure we have a nice ball of dough. And it doesn't look very like refined. It's kind of rough because it's just an Irish soda bread, guys. It's a very easy bake, you know, easy to make bread, not too much kneading involved. Now, legend has it, when you're making this bread, you have to let the fairies out, so you have to cut an X into it to let the fairies out. I'm not letting any fairies out. I'm just giving it that classic shape, and I'm gonna pop it in a 450 degree oven for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna lower the temperature to 400. Let me get it on the cast iron skillet. And here we go. That's how it's gonna look. And I'm gonna pop it in, like I said before, the cast iron skillet. It's on the cast iron skillet. I'm gonna pop it in a 450 degree oven for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to lower the heat to 400 degrees. So it's in there for 10 minutes, and then the timer says 30 because we're gonna lower it to 400 after 10 minutes and let it completely bake for another 20 minutes. Okay, so we've ended. So that was 90 minutes more or less. And I'm just gonna put it to vent because historically I am not a patient person. All right, the pressure was released. So now I'm going to turn it and open the lid. Hang out there, come on, there we go. And now I'm going to add all the potatoes and the carrots. We add all that first, and then I'm gonna grab our cabbage. I like putting my cabbage in bigger chunks. I don't know if all this is gonna fit, guys, but we will figure it out. And then, because cabbage and potatoes and carrots don't come pre-seasoned, we are going to season it with some salt and pepper. So it's almost all in there, and I'm just gonna overload it, and you probably shouldn't do this. But once that starts steaming down, let's put some salt. Once it starts steaming down, it'll get nice and soft, and it'll go down. Let's make sure this is not in the wrong opening. Can you imagine, guys? One side looks like this, the other side looks like that. I would be very sad. Okay, so I'm going to pick up all these little tiny pieces of cabbage that I don't want to leave behind, and I'm going to close the lid again. So let's go less. I'm gonna do 2 minutes, and then we should be done. Okay, it turned on. Leaving the cabbage, guys, up on the top is gonna allow everything else to boil and cook down, but the cabbage to steam, so that's what you wanna do. And this is working out just great. So now, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to reduce it to 400, and it's gonna be in there for another 20 minutes. And now the soda bread is ready. And I'm going to grab some butter. And I'm just going to rub some butter on it so I can soak the butter in as it cools down. But that's about it for the bread. You guys should smell this, it's delicious. Okay, so before we even open this up, crack it open, cut it open, whatever you want to call it, we need to let it cool down completely. So I'm just gonna step away from this because it's a struggle. You definitely don't want to touch this because this is very hot. But the bread, it sounds so good. All right, now it's done. Look at our cabbage, all nice and steamed. Let me get it plated. All right, so now I'm gonna cut it and see what happens. It disintegrates. Look at that. I didn't even apply any pressure. That was awesome. Let me taste it. All right, I'm gonna taste it. That's really good. You can taste all the corned beef pickling seasonings. You can taste that potato. That's so tender. The carrot, the sweetness from the carrot helps the saltiness from the corned beef. And now it's cabbage time. Wow, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day to me. Guys, this bread is so good. I'm sorry. This bread is good. I'm gonna have it with some corned beef. I need to make sandwiches or something. This is delicious. Anyway, guys. I hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate it or not. If you eat some corned beef, I hope you enjoy it. And come join me in my kitchen as I cook next time. Bon appetit.